Hello, everyone. I'm here to do a response to the next door anarchist on his video "Anarchists Going Maoist." Now, at first, I was very hesitant to make this video because I would consider this person a friend, and I would rather not cause like a schism that could damage that friendship or cause uncomfortableness in the social groups we were both in. But I thought this video was really bad, in all honesty, in its logic to why anarchists are going Maoist. So I just might as well do this. Without further ado, here we go. Oh, before I forget, there might be a bit of an echo since I do not currently have headphones, and I don't feel like editing the fucking video and audio together. So forgive me if you hear a bit of an echo.
Now, I'm not here to completely analyze Maoism. I'm not here to demean Maoists. Well, maybe a little, but whatever. I have seen a trend that I don't quite like, or just find idiotic completely. Not to demean them. A lot of my friends are doing this, and I don't like it. In the social groups that I currently hold, anarchist social groups, I am seeing anarchists turning to Maoism. I'm not here to analyze Maoism completely. That's for a completely different video. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm talking about those who are going from anarchism to Leninism or Maoism or some form of organization of which seizes state power rather than destroying state power. Here's the thing. I'm not here to argue ideology. I'm here to argue why people turn to that ideology, and that's why what I found most dumb is that, sorry, I'm tapping on a book while I'm doing this because my hands are going crazy because I'm fucking annoyed at this shit. The argument that I have currently been hearing is kind of pissing me off, and it makes absolutely no sense. The people who have been going from anarchism to Maoism, I'm not saying that they're bad people. I'm saying that the reasoning behind it is flawed, dumb. I'm here to speak my mind. I'm not gonna hold back on it. The argument that I have currently heard in the past few days within these social groups is the reason why they go to it is the form of organizations in which are currently being administered are superior to that of anarchism. Now, I'm not saying of anarchist ones. Maoist organizations, Maoist parties that are currently being held are apparently, to their eyes, larger and do a lot more. Now, I'm not...
Now that's sort of half-truth. I know what he's talking about here, and that's not really the whole reason that these people, or anarchists in general, are switching to Maoism. It's the fact that they actually agree with the form of organization that these Maoist parties have, and the fact that Maoist parties are larger or more active, or simply another reason why, not the only one.
Here to say that anarchists don't do that. We're not armchair leftists. We don't sit around on our asses and do nothing. We actually have done quite a bit in the past for workers' movements, unions, and currently to this day, mainly green anarchists going around and committing eco-terrorism or some form of eco-activism.
Now, I can't really speak about green anarchists. However, anarchists in general really haven't done much in a few decades. That's not a slant against anarchist ideology at all. It's just a simple fact that anarchists have done nothing major in a very, very long time. This isn't like just a small thing, like a lull in the movement. This is a thing that's been going on for decades.
Terrorism is for another day, but terrorism, I'm just going to say what eco-terrorism is. Terrorism is a form of political activism in which to achieve your goals is violence. So like saying destroying the tar sands or destroying a factory in which is polluting the air with chemicals. Stuff like that is beneficial to everybody and really doesn't have many negative effects. Shutting down a plant for putting chemicals in the air to kill people and destroying the environment is very good. Okay? I'm just saying that that's what eco-terrorism is. However, saying that anarchists don't do anything is kind of stupid. We do a lot of things. We do things that are pretty fucking important, that have done a lot of things. Many anarchists fought for the 8-hour day and many different type of...
That's another problem I have with this video. He points out the good things anarchists have done, which, yeah, anarchists have done these things, fighting for the 8-hour day and workers' rights in general, all that. But however, that was several decades ago. And it wasn't only anarchists fighting for that. Anarchists were a part of that, but it wasn't only them. It's not just a thing you can attribute to just anarchists. So to say that that's like a big boom for anarchism, it really isn't. It's a good thing anarchism has done, correct. A good thing that only anarchism has done? No.
Types of, although not, I mean, social democracy has its positives. A temporary cushion for the proletariat, I would say. Social democratic policies such as the 8-hour day, healthcare benefits and whatnot are very beneficial to the proletariat at our current state in time, in social and societal organization. We have done a lot of that, excluding anarchist Ukraine and anarchist Spain and many other types of anarchist organizations that have existed in the past. They don't exist anymore, but that was because of many different niches within history that have prevented us, like the Nazis, Lenin, the Bolsheviks. Those people stomped us out because they had a superior military to us. Now, the argument between that type of organization, the reason why the Bolsheviks destroyed the Ukrainian anarchists and the reason why the Nazis destroyed the Spanish are topics of debate that I'm not going to get into. But I'm saying that we have in the past done things as well as organized very well at what our ideology holds. To take our ideology and to put it into practice, we have practiced it well.
Well, yeah, but not much better than most other leftists. Like, you bring up the 8-hour workday. Well, MLs and Maoists, well, not Maoists, MLs fought for that as well. I'm just going to say general Marxists to include Maoists. Just general Marxists have done that as well. It's not only anarchism that has done this.
Now, putting that aside, with that argument at hand, why saying, without talking about the revolutions that we've had and not talking about anything that we've done for the reform of the proletariat and whatnot, doing all of that stuff, putting that aside, they think that we don't do anything, and after all that, after all of that type of organization that we've had, and that what we currently hold, the federations that currently exist, the anarchist federations that currently exist, are a failure. They don't do anything, apparently, and that they're not...
It's not that they don't do anything, it's they do too little. There are very small things that those anarchist federations have done. However, they're so insignificant that they might as well have not done it.
As well organized as Maoist organizations. Now, I'm not 100% familiar with Maoist parties, specific Maoist parties that exist, mainly within the North America and China and India, all those places. Those Maoist parties and groups, yeah, sure, they're doing something. And yes, sure, they're carrying out acts. Yes, they are. The Indians in China, the Indians in China, no. The Maoist groups in India, yeah, they've been fighting wars for many, many years for Maoism. I understand. They are doing a lot of things. And I 100% understand the appeal of getting shit done. But that shouldn't be an excuse not to abandon the ideology that you currently held, because at the current time we don't organize well.
I need to ask this question. what is the point of having that ideology if it does nothing? If that ideology has been, for several decades, been null and what's the word I'm looking for? Motionless, for lack of a better word. What's the point of having that ideology? Simply to say, oh, don't abandon your ideology because it does nothing is pretty bad, considering if it does nothing, there's no point in having that ideology.
It's like you're taking a problem that we currently had. Like, say we have a problem of organization now. Not that the organization is flawed, but because we don't have an organization at hand that is large and that does a lot. Now, yes, there are federations out there, and there are organizations out there that do shit, that get shit done. We know this. We know.
Now, through this video, he really doesn't point out what these things are. He just says that they happen. Now, as far as I know, there aren't any sources in the description of this video. So these these arguments are pretty empty, since he has not brought up any examples forgive me, it's very late for what anarchism has done recently.
This, and there are many examples of it, but there are other Maoist organizations that, yes, I will say, do more than other anarchist organizations that do exist. But that should not be a deterrent from anarchism. You shouldn't abandon your ideology because of another ideology getting shit done more than your current.
However, if that ideology does nothing, what is the point of having it? At least, say, with Democrats, they're at least doing something. There is a point in that ideology to them. However, with anarchism, it's pretty static at the moment. There's not much that's changing. If I'm wrong, please point me out. Please call me out, I mean. So, I don't understand this. If the ideology is doing nothing, then there's no point in having it.
Ideology. It's just stupid. Rather than abandoning your ideology because of the current organizations that exist, why don't you solve the problem and create an organization that does work to practice, that puts into practice your ideology, that...
No, that's another thing. That's far easier said than done. You can't just start up another fucking anarchist federation, considering that's a problem with anarchism already. It's the fact that there are so many different groups that do so little. I mean, if we already have a million anarchist federations, how is making another one going to fix that? It's sort of a very, what's the word I'm looking for, awkward point.
Works that gets shit done. It's easier said than done, and it's very hypocritical of me because I would say that I have created anarchist organizations that have flopped. I understand this. It's not an easy process. And I'm not saying, and you're probably wondering, why am I not doing anything? Well, the reason why I'm not doing anything is because personally, I'm going through quite a bit. Capitalism is not nice to me. Okay? Capitalism has not been nice to me, and I can't quite do a lot of the things that other people do. But within that social group, I know a lot of people who have a lot of time on their hands, who have all of the resources available to do what they need to get done when it comes to organizing an anarchist organization, putting into practice your ideology. And with that, and if you have the tools, and if you have the ability to do what it is that you're striving for, you should be able to do it. You shouldn't abandon your ideology, the ones that you currently hold, to an ideology that you know is flawed, that you know that seizing state power rather than abolishing it is problematic. We understand these things. Anarchists know this.
How is it problematic? I need that. I would like to have that actually very much explained, as opposed to just said as if everyone knows it. Because by the fact that there are uh, Leninists and Maoists disproves that everyone knows seizing state power is problematic.
We know it's problematic. Now, I'm not here to argue about why, like, I'm not here to argue organization. I'm not saying that. I'm not here to argue.
Yes, you are. Like, you're pretty much your only point in this video is the fact that anarchists are going Maoists because the organization is better. You need to argue organization in this sense.
Why mine is better than yours. But the thing is that they're not arguing organization. They're not arguing why the ideology is superior. They're arguing that the people that currently hold that ideology are getting more shit done than we are.
Okay, at the beginning of this video, you said that was their point. That the organization does more. And that the organizations are better. So, I mean, you kind of contradicted yourself here.
If you're not arguing the ideology, get the fuck out. Okay? Don't argue an ideology because of what the people who hold it do. You should argue it for what it is, not for what it does. By that...
Well, I mean, you have to take both into account. I mean, it's kind of like left communists. They're a dead movement. They recognize that left communism is dead. It's a dead tendency, I mean. However, they still identify as left communists to continue on the tradition or whatever. It's a pointless ideology to hold.
Logic, capitalism, and, capitalists, statists, those people are superior to anarchists, leftists, Leninists, the entire left. Not even the entire left. I mean, I wouldn't say that. It's arguable that the U.S., Marxist-Leninism is left and authoritarianism is left. But...
Okay, now that's just a pointless jab. I don't see how Marxism-Leninism or Marxism in general can't be left. Simply because it's not your specific brand of left.
By that logic, you're saying that Marxist-Leninism, forms of Stalinism, the USSR, that organization was superior to anarchist Spain. Saying that...
Well, yeah. The USSR, that form of organization, was better than Spain.
I mean, I understand that anarchist Spain didn't 100% succeed because of the military superiority of the Nazis.
Well, I mean, there were a lot of other internal struggles that were also going on at the time. It wasn't purely the Nazis or the USSR.
I understand that 100%, that the Nazis and also the Soviets that did come. We understand that flopped because there was a superior military that was currently held. But even with that logic, you're saying that the Nazis were superior to the Spanish anarchists because they were able to do what they needed to get done. You're not arguing the ideology, you're arguing the actions of those in which you hold it. You're saying that fascists are superior to anarchists because the fascists were able to bash the anarchists militarily because they were able to organize and industrialize better than we were because they had more resources at hand and it was more of a niche rather than an actual ideological standpoint that was superior. Now I'm going around in circles about why it is flawed. Now I'm just here to get my point out there, to get my view out there on what these anarchists that are going Maoist are thinking. What you're going through your mind is 100% ideology. Taking up an ideology is a very arduous mental process. It takes a lot of research and it takes a lot of willpower. Me becoming an anarchist was not an easy process. It took years of research to understand what I wanted to believe, and what I wanted to believe was anarchism when I fully understood it. You shouldn't throw around...
And do you think that these people haven't already researched it? to take up an ideology, you need at least some modicum of research to it. In my opinion, you do. And you assume that because they have brought up this point that Maoist organizations are doing more and are generally better than anarchist ones, that they just haven't done research.
Around ideology willy-nilly or switch ideologies constantly because you think that it's superior due to either an external factor of that ideology. It's just asinine. And for those who are questioning their ideology and those who are questioning what's going on, you shouldn't. I'm even telling people who are fascists or telling people who are Leninists or telling people who are Marxists, telling people who are even capitalists and anarcho-capitalists, you shouldn't abandon your ideology for what you don't know. You shouldn't come to anarchism because I told you to do it or because I have an organization that is superior to yours. You should come to it because you think it is right. You should understand and believe in an ideology because you believe in it, not because of what other people have done. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You can't answer that question, but I understand. And I'm at a loss for words now because I've gotten out what I needed to say. In conclusion, don't go to an ideology because of its external factors, because of its organizational stances that have been going on within the world. Because Maoist parties have existed and have done more shit than current federations that exist doesn't mean that Maoism is superior, just means that those organizations have been able to do more than we have at our current stance. Okay? Don't abandon your ideology because other people can achieve more things with their ideology rather than yours. Not because of an ideological difference, but because of an external difference that currently exists. And that's what I have to say.
So yeah, that was an Next Door Anarchist video. Why anarchists are going Maoists. Now, I have nothing personal against this guy. He's a pretty cool person in my opinion. However, this video was just pretty just pretty bad in my opinion. That was about it. Thank you and goodbye.